Whatever you say it with purpose. You say it with intention. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Miki Farmer Show. And in this video, I want to make sure that I give you a lot of value because you are on your journey of learning English. You want to learn English and you want to speak like a fluent speaker, right? This is how you want to do it. This is what you want to dream of. I want you to actually have faith in yourself. But before we proceed with anything, I just want to tell you, this video isn't about I'm teaching you vocabs. This video isn't about I'm teaching you grammar. This video isn't about any of those stuff which is related to an English teacher, because I'm not an English teacher. I'm not going to give you teaching or tutor lesson about English. Okay, you practice these words, you practice these tenses, and this is how you're going to practice your English, and this is how you're going to progress. Now, this video is actually about the blueprint that you can use to any sector, to acquire any skill set, because English is also a skill set. Would you agree? If you agree, I want you to stick with me for like 5 to 10 minutes or how long this video is gonna take. Because you wanna make sure that you are spending your time, because if you're watching this video, I want you to spend your time on useful things. And from my side, I wanna make sure that I give you enough value. I add some sort of value in your life which I felt 5 years ago that someone would have given me. Because at that time, I had no English background. I couldn't speak English. I was struggling to translate my Punjabi language or Hindi language into English words. I couldn't convey my message properly to an English speaker. And probably you are struggling with one of those challenges. And I also assume if you're watching this video, because I'm recording it in English, you have some sort of basic sense how is it actually working. You do have basic sense of understanding. You do understand a bit of English. Okay, so let's set our grounds first. And I want to give you a bit of introduction. What is this blueprint called? So this blueprint I call a skill set acquired blueprint. As I explained earlier, English is also skill set, so you can utilize this blueprint to anywhere. Doesn't really matter whether you want to learn photography, you want to learn coding, you want to learn photo editing, or you want to learn any trade. As I say, skill set, because skill set can be acquired with enough practice. And this is what we're going to do here. So in order to acquire any skill set, you have to have two things right. One is environment, your environment. You want to make sure you are in a right environment. Another one is habits. What are the habits that you have which are leading towards the end goal that you're looking to achieve? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Environment is something that you don't really have much control over, because you can't really control your environment. For example, you come from India, you come from third world country, and you go to Singapore, you go to Australia, Canada, US, anywhere else. You don't have any control to change your environment. You can't really control, you can't make other English speaker to speak your language. You can't change all the signboards which are written in English to Hindi or Thailand, to any other local language that you understand. You cannot do that, but you can definitely have control over your habits. So you can change your habits. You can choose to act in certain ways. You can choose to do your rituals, daily rituals in certain ways, so that you can acquire that particular skill set. You can learn how to speak English. And this is what we're going to speak about in this video. I want you to stick with me, okay? I want you to stick with me so that we can get along and we can explore this journey all together. Because so much love, it's like too much, a respect, and the thing that I have inside me for all my brothers and sisters who are struggling with English. Because I used to be at your place at that time. So it humbles me if I could speak English now. Okay, if I had figured out something, I may not have figured out a lot of things, but I have figured out a blueprint, as I say, and that is our secret that I'm going to give it to you. So as we always speak about environment and habits, so we're gonna put environment on one side because we can't really change it. We do gonna change it, but in later part of the video. But let's speak about your habits. So how you're gonna form habits which can lead towards your good English speaking. Okay, first I want to give you this mindset of building confidence. Now, when you build your habits, okay, you want to build your habits so that you can either gain confidence when you're gonna speak in front of English speaker. You should have confidence. Second, you can convey your thoughts properly in a confident way, and you do have enough grip on your words and thoughts that you are trying to translate in your mind and conveying through your mouth. So you need to have that grip in your mouth also, and it can only come through practice, which I'm going to tell you how to practice. And third, you want to make sure that whatever you say, you say it with purpose. You say it with intention. What I'm trying to say, for example, now I'm speaking English. If like now I'm saying something, let's just put like me speaking English or something else. If let's say I'm saying something, I'm saying it with intention. You are getting that Miki is trying to tell us about English speaking, how we can acquire that skill set, right? So you wanna get these three things right whenever you put your habits, or you implement your habits, or you change your habits. You wanna make sure that you get out of these things from your habits. Okay, so what you're gonna do, first thing that I call is self-talk in your mind talking. Okay, so first thing what you're gonna do is mind talking. What I mean to say that, look, so many times you may have gone through different coaching centers which claims that they will teach you English, and you may have watched videos which claims that you will learn English. But what happens, you are not learning English or practicing English in your own way. You are learning in their ways, what they're trying to teach you, what kind of process they want to give you. But you can only learn faster if you accommodate that skill set or that habits as per your daily ritual, as per your daily routine, on the basis of your capabilities and strengths. So this is how you're gonna do it. Imagine how many times in a day you have different thoughts about different things, and you usually think about things in your local language. For example, I'm using this lighting. Okay, I'm gonna change this lighting. Rather than I'm thinking in English, I would think in Punjabi, because Punjabi is my local language. So I would just say, okay, आह लाइट मैंने चंगी नहीं लगती भाई, आह लाइट मैं इत्थे रखना, इनू चक के मैं इधर लाना, ताकि जेड़ा मेरे मुंह दे उत्ते रिफ्लेक्शन वधिया पवे. The phrase just I say, and the thinking process that I use here was in Punjabi. But instead of doing it in Punjabi, I want you to do it in English. So I want you to rather focusing on, thinking about something in your local language, thinking in English. So I would say, maybe this reflection of light is not good on my face, so I just want to adjust it a bit so that I can have visible face in the camera. Okay, simple. And now why are we gonna do this? Because most of the times when we start to speak English, it happens we trying to translate our own language directly into English. That's why we struggle. That's why we hesitate a lot when we speak English. We hesitate, okay, I just want to say, a lot of things, happens. Why it happens? Because we are thinking in Punjabi, we're thinking in local language and trying to translate in our brain in English, and then we're trying to say it through mouth. So it's like, it's a long process and it takes time. Your brain takes time to process things out also, right? So instead of you thinking in your local language, start thinking in English. And you can only do that by practice. Now you may also have heard that people say, oh, practice, practice, practice. If you do enough practice, practice will make you perfect. But that's wrong. Practice doesn't really make you perfect. Practice makes progress. Okay? The more you practice, the more progress you're gonna make. But you will never get perfect. There is no such thing called perfection in this world. This is what I believe. You can only have high standards with regards to no mistakes. That could be perfection for you. That could be progress for you. But you cannot have perfection 100% right. You can always have things in 99%, 9% right. But there should be 0.1% of mistakes in that. That means you can have higher standards. So what you're gonna do is, maybe now you only know 2% of the English, right? You can only process 2% of speaking in your mind or thinking in your mind. So you wanna make this processing to 20%, and you can only do by practice. And how you're gonna practice? By simply visualizing, okay, there's a story. Maybe I just wanna speak about this laptop, okay? Maybe I just wanna speak about this plant. Maybe I just wanna speak about this light, maybe microphone. But when I'm going to speak about it, I'm not going to speak about in English or in local language. I'm going to speak in English. Pardon me. And this is how you're going to make progress. Because once you're going to start thinking in English, you will definitely get confidence. You will just have that confidence no matter what. You will have it because your brain will tell you this is normal for you. English speaking and thinking in English is normal for you. So in future, what's going to happen? Whenever you encounter with any English speaker, rather than you thinking in Punjabi or Hindi in your local language, you're going to think in English. You're going to start with saying English words. You're going to just straight away answer in English. So in order to conclude this whole step, I just want you to say like, okay, in your daytime, put a time, or just normally when you drive, you walk, whatever you do, in your mind, just think about a picture, think about a subject and describe it, form a story around it in English and do it on daily basis. You see, you have 365 days in a year and you do one story a day. You have 365 stories to tell to the people. Which leads me, how are you going to form your stories? And this leads me to our next step. And that is, in your daily time, you're going to learn one form of sentence. Only one form of sentence. Okay? You will either learn how to make sentences or tenses in present. The next day probably you can practice in future. Then probably next day you can practice in past. So in one day you will never practice. I don't want you to practice 3 sentences, okay? Like 3 time periods. Just only practice 1. Watch any YouTube video. What are the rules? How you can use what are the grammar things to form present tense, to form future tense, to form past tense. Find on YouTube. And this is how you can actually get education with intention, because you want to know that this is what you want to learn. Right? This is what you're going to do. Simply. Every single day, form one story, speak about it, speak in one tense only. If let's say today you're going to speak about this plant and only speak about in present tense. Maybe you can just say, oh, this plant is so green right now. Oh, I'm enjoying its freshness. Anything, bro. You speak about any bullshit as long as it's in present. As long as you're forming a story. Speak about anything. And when you go to bed or you use your phone, I want you to recommend this application called Dictionary. Or yeah, I think it's called Dictionary. I'll just put a link in the bio. And that app will give you one new word a day, like a word of the day. So you can learn different words every single day. This is how you can enrich your vocabs every single day. As I say, gave you already number. You have 365 days. You learn one word a day. Don't have to learn two, don't have to learn three. Just one word. In 1 year, you have 365 words in your catalog, in your brain. You see, rather than you are going through life with no intentions, with no system in English, how you're gonna do this sentence, how you're gonna form this sentence. Now you have a system. Now you can actually form these habits which are moving you towards your goal of being English speaker, right? And third thing you're gonna do is, because look, whatever I say just now is good for speaking, okay? But you also want to make sure that you improve your reading, because you are not going to live or to any company or to any international company and you don't have to read in that place. You need to have basic reading skills. You need to have basic understanding what that sentence, what the written paragraph is trying to tell you. Because you're gonna go through contracts in your life. You're gonna go through different paragraphs, as I say, different contracts, different papers, different applications. So many things have to be done, and sometimes you may not have access to someone who is pro and explaining it to you, those contracts in a proper way, because their interpretation or your could be different. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are capable enough to read those things by yourself. And how you gonna do that? By simply reading a book. Pick any book, okay? You don't have to be particular about only want to read self-help books, only want to read comics, only want to read any. You don't be picky. Just pick any normal book. Try to read one page a day, or maybe just like one paragraph a day. And when you read it, I want you to not just read just with the words itself. Maybe in the beginning you can do that, because you may find yourself challenging in order to learn and read those words. Okay, what you're gonna do is just simply try to read it as much as you can and trying to get what the message of that particular paragraph, what is it trying to tell you. Okay, this is how you're gonna practice. And if you have access to someone who can speak good English, like in your surroundings, maybe you can always refer to that person. Hey, can you just please correct this for me? Can you tell me, is this correct or not? So I want you to build these habits which can give you confidence, which can enrich your vocabs, which can make you good at reading and understanding English, which can help you to translate your thoughts. That's the mindset that you want to have. Not like someone is saying, hey, go watch Netflix, go watch English YouTube videos, go play English music. Yeah, those things are okay, but as long as you're doing with intention. Look, if you're just doing for the sake of like entertainment, or for the sake of just watching them, you're not learning anything out of it. For example, now you are already good at speaking English, but you're struggling with a bit of your accent, or maybe you want to apply some sort of communication style in your English. Go watch some documentaries, go watch some those series on Netflix. There are so many good characters that you can copy, and trying to see how they speak English, like this Harvey Specter, Thomas Shelby in Peaky Blinders. There's so many characters. You can always learn some sort of communication styles from them. You just copy them straight away. Don't have to be too authentic in terms of like, oh no, I only want to have my own way of speaking English. No, copy them straight away, because once you copy them, once you fake it, then you're gonna make it. I will believe in that. How? You copy them, you're trying to speak like them, then slowly you're gonna train your muscles, and this will be your natural way of talking. That's how you're gonna do it. And now let's speak about environment, because we have already spoke about habits. What are the habits you're gonna form? What are the things that you should be changing in your daily life? These three things, okay? Pick a subject, talk about it, form a story, read book, and learn one tense a day, learn one vocab a day. These simple steps that you're gonna take, simple, and you will see your English will whoosh, graph will go up. Okay, let's talk about environment. So as I say, we only have some certain, or like to some extent, control over our environment that we can change, and we want to make sure that environment that we have, we can trying to adjust it, like, you know, make some adjustments towards whatever we want to achieve. Like, for example, now your goal is learning English. So what can you do? Maybe you are living in sharing, okay? You don't have control over your home. Maybe you are living in one room now. Or maybe you have your own home. So let's just say this. If you have your own home, I want you to form this habit of reading by placing different books in different parts of the home. For example, you hang around a lot in your kitchen. I want you to put 2-3 books in there, so that instead of using your phone, whenever you go to the kitchen, you have some time, you're drinking some water, you doing something, just read a passage, read a paragraph, because you want to make sure that you get that thing right off your to-do list. Now, if you go hang around a lot in your living room, I want you to have few books on your coffee table, on your sofa, on your couch, wherever you sit. Now, if you like to just chill in your bedroom, I want you to have few books or anything that you read in your bedroom, maybe next to your bed, so that you can have easy access to those things. Because when you have to make an effort, you have to move a bit to get that particular book, you will get lazy. So you want to make sure you have books everywhere, that you have easy access in your home or in your room. Even though you have car, you don't own anything, I want you to customize your car in a way that you have at least one book in your car. This is how I used to do, man. Like, I was in Singapore, I used to carry one book all the times with me in my bag. So I would go to MRT, all the train stations, from work to home, home to school, do different, like wherever I would travel, I would always read. Always read. And sometimes I would just sit at home, chill, being lazy, and chilling on the couch and stuff. I would also just open it up, read. Now, as I say, you don't have to be harsh on yourself that you're only gonna read self-help books. Find this book. You can always pick, anything that you like, anything that you enjoy to read. Maybe you wanna read jokes. Maybe you like quotes, different quotes, yeah. Maybe you like comics. Maybe you like hero characters. Maybe you like love stories, romance. Anything that you like, just pick those books in those genres. And if you would make excuse, I don't have access to those books, how can I get them? Look, you can always go to nearby library. They can issue you at least 10 books at one time, 14 days. For 14 days, minimum is 14 days, or maybe I think, and max you can go up to a month. So you can always grab at least 5 to 10 books and one time and put them different place in your home. Read them. You don't have to be harsh on yourself. You don't have to push yourself to finish those books. Okay? And that's how you're gonna adjust your environment. Also, I want to tell you something. So if you have a bit of control over your home, you can always put some sort of charts, just print it down. Like maybe there are like 5 or 6 new vocab words. Print out a chart, put them in your home. So every single time you go across or you walk by, you at least pick some words from that chart. And you can change that on monthly basis. It only costs you like $2 to $3 to just print it. Right? And put it on a wall or somewhere else that you can always have your eyes on. Look, environment, when we say changing environment, we usually say, we just want to hang around with those people who speak English. No, you don't have to do that. You seriously, if you don't have access, You don't have to do that. But if you have access, definitely that's great. But you don't have to do every single time. Okay? So these are the things that I want you to pick. Easily just follow these simple steps and you will see your growth will skyrocket. And in future, I will give you more tips. Like I will give you micro tips. This is like overall mindset that you wanna acquire in order to boost up your English learning journey. But I'm gonna give you micro habits also that you can adjust, that you can obtain micro adjustments in your environment that I have done, that you can do, that other people do, so that you can learn English faster 2-3 times as compared to average person. Because it's a skill set, as I say, it's a skill set. The more you practice, the more you learn. So whenever you practice, you also want to make sure that you practice in an efficient way. You don't just practice for the sake of practicing, for the sake of doing it. You also want to get most out of it. You want to make sure that you squeeze that information and you put in your brain. The last tip that I want to give you is this, like, utilizing your vocabs that you're learning on daily basis. And that is, whenever you learn vocabulary, you don't really, like normal, we humans, we all, say, hey, I'm learning this word, I'm picking up this word, I'm doing this and that. But we don't really actually use them. This is what we usually think, right? Okay, I'm gonna learn this word today. For example, I'm learning yestereen. This is what I learned yesterday. Yestereen means yesterday evening. So where am I gonna use it? Probably I can use it on my daily basis. I can just, for example, I'm speaking on trying to explain something to someone which happened yesterday evening. I would say, hey, yestereen, I went to this place. And this happened. So you can always try to fit those words into your normal conversation. Or maybe when you chat and talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend, or you talk to anyone on your cell phone. Within your message, put this particular word and they'll be surprised. Hey, what does that mean? Then you try to explain that word. And when you explain it, you're not just explaining, you are not teaching other person, you're also learning by yourself. Because when you explain it to someone, you learn it way faster. That's what you're gonna do. So implement those words. That's a simple tip. Implement those words in your daily life. Anywhere. As I say, yesterday I learned that word yestereen. Today I learned orange shower. Which means you peel orange when you take shower. Because you enjoy that sweetness and fragrance of that orange, particular orange, when you take shower. Funny, eh? Now, I'm not gonna use this word anywhere, but it's just funny to know. That's all. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up and I'm gonna give you another video next week, probably next week, okay, about English, on micro habits that you can form to learn English. Till then, I'll want you to practice and I'll take a break. Bye. See you next video.